Welcome back. Today's story is about a soft-spoken gym-goer who's been quietly enduring pure gym hell. One entitled Jerk, hoarding multiple machines, acting like the whole place is his personal kingdom. For weeks, OP stayed silent, swallowing their frustration, but there's only so much one person can take. What started as a simple workout turned into a showdown of audacity, entitlement, and a long overdue snap that will leave you screaming. I'm not the type to cause trouble. I'm not loud. I'm not aggressive. I don't start drama. I'm a 25, male, soft-spoken, introverted kind of person. And that's exactly why people like this guy, let's call him K, think they can walk all over people like me. I've been going to this small local gym for about a year now. Nothing fancy, just a clean place with basic equipment and friendly staff. At least, it used to be friendly. I go every evening after work, usually around 6 or 7 p.m. I bring my headphones, my water bottle, and mind my own business. I'm not a fitness guru or anything. I just like to de-stress and feel strong. But lately, this one guy, K, maybe late 30s, always in a tank top and grunting loudly like he's benching a whole building, started showing up around the same time. And that's when things started going downhill. The first few times I saw him, I didn't think much. A bit loud, but whatever. Then I started noticing. He was using everything. I don't mean he was rotating between machines. No, I mean he literally claimed multiple stations at once. 3 benches, a rowing machine, a couple of dumbbell sets, even the leg press and cable machine. He'd lay a towel or water bottle on each one to reserve them. At first, I thought maybe he was just switching between sets. I waited. I waited a long time. But minutes went by and he never came back to half the equipment. He was talking to someone, scrolling through his phone, taking selfies in the mirror. It was so rude. One night, I needed the bench press. He was using one and had his towel on 2 others. After circling twice and seeing he was just sitting on his phone, I finally built up the courage to go over. I said, quietly, sorry, are you still using this bench? He looked at me like I just slapped him. Yeah, he snapped. I'm supersetting. Okay, but no one else could use it while he rested for 10 minutes between sets? I apologized. I actually apologized, like an idiot. I went to another machine, tried to make do, but kept glancing over. He wasn't even touching the other benches. And this became a pattern. Every night, he'd show up, take over half the gym, grunt, monopolize, ignore everyone. And me? I kept letting it slide because I don't like conflict, because I thought maybe it wasn't worth making a scene because I didn't want to look rude, but inside, I was fuming. The final straw came last Tuesday. I showed up, and it was a little busier than usual. People were waiting patiently, sharing equipment, taking turns, you know, like decent human beings. Except Kay, he had his junk spread across 5 machines again. This time, I was determined not to back down. I walked up to the flat bench. It was covered with a sweaty towel, but I'd been watching. He hadn't touched it in at least 15 minutes. So I picked up the towel, placed it gently to the side, and sat down. I hadn't even grabbed a dumbbell before I heard him. "Hey," Kay barked. "That's my bench." I looked up, heart pounding. I knew this was coming. I said, as calmly as I could, "I saw you weren't using it. I just need a few sets. I'll be quick." He stormed over, got right in my face. I said, "I'm using it. Don't touch my stuff." And then he grabbed his towel from right next to me and slammed it back on the bench. I stood up. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. People were starting to watch. And instead of standing my ground, I did what I always do. I backed off. I mumbled, "Sorry," and walked away. And he sat there, arms crossed, not even lifting, just guarding the bench, like a toddler with too many toys. I went to the locker room. I felt my cheeks burning. I hated myself for giving in. I hated how powerless I felt. And then I heard someone follow me in. It was one of the other regulars. She looked at me and said, "You know, you don't have to let him do that." I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, but he's so aggressive." She nodded. "You're not the only one he's intimidated." We ended up talking for 10 minutes. Turns out, Kay had been bullying other members too, not just hogging equipment, talking over people, mocking beginners, yelling if anyone got close to his spot. And then she said, "Why don't we talk to the manager?" My stomach dropped. Confrontation? Formal complaint? But then I realized this wasn't just about me. I wasn't overreacting. I wasn't being too sensitive. This guy was making the gym a miserable place for others too. So for once, I agreed. The next day, we spoke to the manager, and to my surprise, he took it seriously. We weren't the first complaint. There had been others. The staff kept an eye on him over the next few days. And guess what? One evening, Kay tried to reserve 4 machines again, and a staff member came over, calmly told him that equipment can't be reserved unless actively used. He threw a fit, called it bull poop, said he pays to be here, and when he started yelling, he was escorted out. He's been gone for 2 weeks now. The gym, back to normal, peaceful, respectful, friendly, And me, I'm still quiet, still introverted. But that moment taught me something. Being soft spoken doesn't mean being a doormat. Sometimes you have to stand up, not just for yourself, but for everyone who's too afraid to speak. And if you're like me, if you hate confrontation, if you overthink everything, if you've ever apologized for someone else's bad behavior, you're not alone. But please remember, you deserve space too. You deserve to be respected, even if you say it quietly. That's all for today's story, and please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you loved this story, and comment if you've ever been in a similar situation.